welcome back to Into the Veil. I'm Rachel, and thank you for being here. So if you watched the video on Arkansas Bigfoot, Darker Than Blackberry Jam, we came out in the middle of the night and had a celebration going on out here. This is the grove area, the open area that we stepped into, that we said kind of felt like a gathering spot or a living room, or, you know, if you look, it's very flat, feels very well used, and it's just beautiful up here. Behind me we have the little creek that we spoke of, and it was really, we didn't go farther than this. And so today I wanted to kind of talk about what else was shown about that night that we were really too tired to process, and leave some gifts. We're going to go check out Arpina's spot near the trident tree and see what we see.
Looks like a good place for a barn dance.
It really does.
That's what it looks like has happened.
You know, when we got here the other night, we quickly picked up on one of Anku's brothers, the youngest. His name is, they call him Pax. And he apparently has gotten a new baby. They're fourth. He had all boys, and this was a little girl. So it was especially exciting for the family in that regard, and she feels like she's about a month old. There was a young one lost to Mark and Daphne, Anku's parents, way back, and her name was Magna. And it feels to me that Pax and his mate are opting to, it felt like a naming ceremony also, and that in honor of Magna, that's what they're going to call this baby girl. And I thought that was kind of special. Now, in addition to Pax, we also had Martome, and then Martome does have a twin, and her name is Sandrina. And these would be considered siblings to Anku, but they are actually technically cousins that Mark and Daphne have raised from the time they were knee-high. They lost their mother, and so Mark and Daphne basically took them in and raised them. So they're as good as brother and sister to the family, to Anku. Let's see, let's go on up. I think what we'll do is meet you at Arpina's gifting area, and we'll talk some more about this. There's a special guest that I do want to tell you about, and I truly understood why it was a celebration of life when I found this out. So we'll meet you up there. Okay, so we're going to take a step back, kind of put all this together. We have Pax. He is the youngest. It's Anku and Jem. Anku and Jem are twins. On EVP it very much sounds like Jim, but the way that he's shown it spelled is more like Jem. So we're not quite pronouncing it right. He's okay with it, but Martone and Sandrina were adopted, if you will, by Anku's parents, Mark and Daphne. And we'll probably go over this a little better. It's become a pressing thing where they're really wanting us to know who's who. So Pax is the youngest. There was also a sister that I feel passed when Anku was very young, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Her name was Magna. Pax and his mate, Anise, are naming their baby girl Magna in honor of her, which, like I said, I thought was sweet. Now, the special guest that I found out, I say randomly, but nothing's random with these people, that made this such a celebration of life is that Mark's mother is still alive. And why I hadn't tuned in or asked, I don't know, and I feel terribly about this. But it feels that she stays primarily with Pax. So, in this celebration, it was also her birthday. Okay, so funny and true story. As I was working with Anku to try to capture his grandmother's name, I think I said, what would you call your grandmother? In his typical cheeky humor, he is showing G-R-A-N-D, and I'm like, no, wait. And very much felt like he was spelling out grandmother. I said, let's revisit this. He knew what I meant, but he thought it was funny. And so grandma's name is Roma. Roma has turned 104 years old. Her mate was Anku Sr., and he's been gone. In fact, he and Mark, Anku's father, didn't transition too far apart, but feels like for separate reasons. Like I said, we'll go into some more of this as we go along because it is a lot of detail. We've got a lot of crunching going on around us. But I did want to honor Roma because she feels that important, that special. And I feel like it was a lot for her to make this trip. And so I have some gifts I've asked to leave at our Pinus basket because they're smaller, and I want to make sure that each part of this family has the opportunity to receive something. I have 2 shells, crystal, and a wooden heart that I'll show you. But I really felt when he said a celebration of life, it was on both ends of the spectrum. And it definitely felt special to be a part of this. Now, before I forget, and before we go to our Pinus area, I do want to remind you, I do want to remind you that when we hit 2,000 subs, we are having a drawing. for a full-size set of the dark purple rods. Ken does some beautiful work on these. This set's turquoise. Sometimes he kind of, what would you say, I've got them out of order here, but kind of creates based on the individual and what comes to him as far as color. And each pair is totally unique. These...
Those little ones, there was a picture that we had from years ago where you were sitting by the marsh and all the dragonflies were landing on you, so I wanted to make some that looked like the dragonflies.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find that picture, but I had dragonflies landing on my hands, and this very much reminds me of...
Turn your hand a little bit.
Can you see? This very much reminds me of the color of many of the dragonflies, both of these, because what was landing on my hand was indigo color. But many of the dragonflies that I worked with were actually this color. It's blue. So I find these special. And of course, this is the set that I stole. I loved them. I loved them. Havrod will travel. So we're going to walk over to our penis area and let's see with the gifts that we left last time or if there's anything new. Happy birthday, Roma. Okay.
I thought it was fitting that you should do that right here where Sauve worked on my hand, and there's
Yes.
John Ku's tree.
Yes. This is where we filmed Medicine Man and much of Inner Sanctum, and they were both very powerful days to us. And this is a very important spot area for them. I absolutely love it out here. Okay. So in talking about that, I realized I might have said it was Mark and Daphine's daughter Magna. It was Roma and Anku Sr.'s daughter Magna. So forgive me if I misspoke. These names are a lot to keep track of. After a while, it becomes very easy with familiarity. Alright.
Just have to weave our way through it.
Just trying not to eat too many spiders.
I think it's off to the left just a little bit. Why does this always seem like trying to re-find a hidden little...
Come on, Arpina, help us out now. Arpina's a trickster. Maybe up right in front of you. Because brutal.
Over there.
Okay. Take your opinion.
Well,
okay. So we had left the shawls and the pillow together with some gifts in the basket on the last video. It looks like the shawls are primarily, let's go back around, there's the pillow here on this side of the tree.
well, where that pillow's at, that whole thing looks like a little bed.
Yeah,
like a
like
flat
maybe a
spot.
laying spot. Couple snack wrappers, nuts. This is where we left the stack of shawls and the pillow, and we left the treats in the basket. All I see in the basket is a small piece of sassafras root. I think this is the piece I brought the other day, so I'm going to put it back in the basket. The tissue paper had Arpina's name on it, and it was fastened to the crocheted shawl that was intended for her.
There it is, up on the log, and you had left it on the stack with everything else.
Yeah. So, I guess you got the message.
There's that can over there.
Oh, the herring can. I'll get that. I'm going to get these gifts out.
My thought is that all of this sits right on the fringe of what you're looking at that heads off into that bog area. And it is thick, thick, thick. You can see a trail running through that way. Another one straight back through that way.
Yeah, it's perfect back here. Hello, ladies. How you feeling?
But this kind of sits on the border of it all, so what you got?
So I brought, this is what I felt inclined to bring. And maybe it's because with them not living by an ocean, that it might be something, I'm not sure what's for who or if it's all for Grandma. But for some reason I was getting the sense that maybe she would like to have something she hasn't had or hasn't seen. But I did bring also this quartz point. And this is a cedar. Ken hand carved this, a cedar heart. It does have a gloss on it, so hopefully that'll help protect the wood. But I just wanted to leave those in the basket and ask that Grandma pick out what she likes. If she wants them all, then I'm pretty sure they won't argue with her. So, okay, thank you for being here. Please leave your name and broad location, you know, state, country, whatever you're comfortable with, in the comments so that I can put you with the other names that we have for the drawing. if you are interested in winning the large set of rods with the midnight purple. We truly appreciate everybody being here. We're in a time of a lot of transition with the family, with ourselves, with the world right now, and I just am grateful to have all of us together. Like, share, and subscribe if you will. If you need information on general purchase on the rods, Ormus sessions, please do reach out to my email. It's in the bottom of the description box to the video, as well as the about section for the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.